Hello, hello, hello.
Well, good Thursday evening to y'all. Top of the Thursday evening to y'all.
How is everybody today?
I hope everybody's doing good. Just like I am, I'm always good. Sometimes I even scare myself. I'm so good.
So I'm still a little under the weather. So I apologize for the nasal and whatever. I will mute my mic if I have to cough.
I
It's getting
hear it.
better.
I
It's getting
hear it.
better.
I hear it.
Yeah. So
It's all good. Life is all good. I'm telling you, life is all good.
so we have some exciting news to share too
All right.
about
Well,
our
uh, go ahead.
about
Shit.
our little show.
Yeah, go ahead. You be the bearer about of that wonderful news.
That wonderful news is we've decided to do it 2 nights a week. Yay! You guys can get to see us 2 nights a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays, 7 o'clock Eastern Time, 6 o'clock Central Time. What better way to spend your night on Tuesdays and Thursdays than with Catty Connie and Loudmouth Linda?
See, and doesn't that sound great, y'all? Isn't that
That
going to
sounds
be
perfect to
great?
me.
Isn't that going to great? Okay, so we were going to start that next week, but there's a little problem. There may be a little problem. Uh, I, I got jury duty on Monday morning, so if they look at me and they say, you know what, I think we like her, they could hold me hostage. And I don't know when I'll get out of there, depending on the case. I'll just tell them, you know what? I'm prejudiced against everything.
There you
Aren't
go.
you the lady that did that video against prejudice? Well, I'm not prejudiced on regular facts. I'm just prejudiced when it comes to court cases. All of
Right,
them. All
right,
of them. So
right.
we'll see.
Yeah,
We
we
will
will see.
see. We will see.
Mm-hmm.
So, would you like to start your news out tonight, or do you want me to start?
Um, I started last week. You go ahead this week.
All right. Well, the news I'm bringing up this week is these crazy kids on the student campuses that are all being nuts. That are screaming and hollering and saying "Free Palestine," and free Palestine. There ain't no Palestine. I think they pretty much leveled Gaza, so I don't think there is a free. It's pretty free right now. There's nobody there. We went. Our government just went in. I don't know how many uh planes. Great big planes too, Linda. Great big ones, like 747 ones. Great big, a whole bunch of people.
Wow.
And they brought all the refugees to us. Like we didn't have enough refugees. But yep. Now they're all here. We got them all here.
No, it's the garbage pit now.
Well, you know
But
what?
at least they're in DC. Keep them there.
Oh no, they're not going to do that. They keep dropping them off in different places. Here, with that, they want to share the wealth. They want to here. Let me give you a few, and let me give you a few, and let me
I'm
give
sure
you a
there's a whole
few.
lot. I'm sure there's a whole lot of vacant buildings in DC that they can put them in and house them in.
Oh well, they could. I don't know. They say they talk about Texas and they say, Texas is so big, they could hold a whole lot of people. No, we can't. We may be big, but we got a whole lot of undeveloped land. What are you gonna do? Go stick them in a tent out there in the middle of the mesquite trees or what?
Oh,
You
yeah.
know?
I mean, they could feel comfortable in the Midwest, in the mountains, and
Or maybe,
listening.
you know what? Maybe they could let me think here. They could go be in a tent on the student. faculty's parking lots like they're doing right now, and then they can just keep screaming and building their own little have all those little tents. You know what? Speaking of that, all those little tents that they had built out there, they were all exactly the same except different colors.
Right, right,
Uh,
right. There was one campus that had all the same color.
okay. All right. So that tells you right there that George Soros bought a whole bunch of tents, and the more he bought, he got a discount on getting so many of them.
Right before we came on, I
Hmm.
saw that they said 40% of the people that were at those protests in Columbia and UCLA,
Mm.
40% of them were professional agitators. They were in their 40s and 50s, and
Okay.
some in their 60s.
All right. So here, let's talk about that just for a minute. So
Mhm.
they've got Trump up on charges. They said he did the insurrection on January 6th, and so I was sitting back and I was watching this really close, and when they took that Hamilton building, I looked and I thought, saw that man. He skimmied up the building just like I had seen before, and took a hammer and broke out the window. Now, you know what? Who takes a hammer to a protest? I wouldn't, unless I was planning on building something, or unless I was planning on breaking the window.
Right.
Right. So I thought he sure looks familiar. He's that skimming up there with his black cow, had a black hoodie thing on and a black mask, and he was all in black. And I thought, you know what? That looks just like those same guys that were in that January 6th thing. So, you know what? It would have been a peaceful protest on January 6th, but those guys were in there. Those agitators were in there just like they were in there this time. And they're in all the other ones. Don't think they're not. They're in all the other ones. And all of our students just follow along like little ducks.
So, do you think they'll get as much time as the J Sixers?
No, those guys, they didn't get any time the last time they took them in there. They picked some of them up during January 6th, but they're out running around doing their thing right now. And there's people that's been there 3 years in prison still waiting to even get a date
That's
to
what I'm
even see
saying. Do
the
you
guy.
think any of these students?
Nah, I don't think so. I don't think so. I think that they're gonna let them go, and everybody's gonna. Well, now we got I don't know how many plane loads of them that we just picked up, and when they were screaming from the river to the sea, I thought I'll show you from the river to the sea. Let God do a Red Sea moment. And we'll just drop them all off when the sea opens up, drop them all off, and then it can just close down. Sorry, that sounds a little bit cruel, but come on, don't bring your fussing and fighting here. We don't do that here.
Right, right.
Mm-mm. Not like what I see. I looked at it and I thought I was looking at a third world country.
Yeah, unfortunately. Unfortunately. My take on it, or my thought on it, um, the students come here from around the world to get a better education.
Sure they
And
do.
there are some countries that have better universities, colleges, whatever you want to call them, for different things.
Sure.
But they come here and, you know, they're oh so grateful to get the education and to be able to make tons of money, because then they stay here, make a ton of money, and a good portion of them send back home and or retire back at home with the money they make here, and then they live like queens and kings over in their own country. Which, okay, I'm not knocking anybody for trying to better themselves,
No, no.
You
You
know?
know what? I'm with you there. If you're going to better yourself, but you know what? That's not what they're doing. That's not what they're doing.
No.
And they said these are our most educated. These are our smartest people. Well, you know what I got to say? If that's the smartest people that we got right now, we're in trouble. We're in big trouble because
I
they're so
yeah,
smart. All they want to do is fight.
yeah. Well, I think those Ivy League schools has a little bit of poison ivy running through it right now.
Oh, I am telling you what. And that man that got on there, and he said, "Well, I think that we should just kill off everybody that is not Muslim." And he said, "And we got to stop this genocide." And I thought, and you're an educated person, and you just said the definition of genocide by getting rid
Right.
of everybody, but we got to stop this genocide.
Right.
That's kind of an oxymoron, if you
Well,
ask
yeah,
me.
it's good for me is not good for you, or however that saying goes. You know,
Well, I'm just
do
telling
as
you
I
right
say,
now.
not as I do.
I really have got to say, I've really got to say that building all of these barricades and doing all that stuff and thinking they said they're blocking off the Jewish kids so they can't even get into school, and they're telling them they got to come and go in the back door. Now tell me that's all right.
Well,
I don't think there's
apparently,
anything right about that.
for them, apparently,
No, it ain't. It ain't all right. And then I heard that Iran just told them, if y'all want to come here, we'll send you to school. I didn't even know Iran had any colleges, but anyway, said, we'll bring up, y'all can come here and we will fund your all your tuition, and you can learn what? How to eat after the dog if you're a female.
right,
I don't know what you're going to teach them over there, but I'll tell you one thing. Uh, they can all go. Go and send them a plane ticket, send them everything, and bye bye. Go ahead, go.
right, right.
Cause it's ugly. That fighting and fussing and fighting is ugly going on out there.
We've had our problems, and we've had our, riots, but it's never gotten as ugly as it's getting to be. Like, and I hate using the term third world, but third world, I mean, do they wake up in the morning? Yeah, I mean, does somebody put like pebbles in their coffee or something that make them so angry that they're raised and bred and born, it seems, to just fight and hate everybody.
Yeah, somebody peed in their Wheaties this morning and they decided they were just going to be all nasty to everybody else. But I'll tell you this right now. When they took over that building, I don't know what they thought they were going to do when they got in there. You know what they should have done? Just left them in there, not and made sure they didn't get anything to eat. What would have
Uh,
happened then? What would have happened then?
oh, then the college would have been sued.
Yeah, because they starved to death in there when they
Yeah,
stole the building themselves.
yeah, yeah,
When the police went in there, did you see that when they took that great big huge bus like thing and had like a cherry picker on it, and they
yeah.
all went in there, and all the students were screaming, "Shame on you, shame on you." And I thought, shame on who? Shame on you for stealing the building in the first place.
Right. Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, I don't I don't get it. I don't get it, and I think that they all should be suspended.
Right.
So
And
yep.
I'm sitting here thinking and going back on when you said that these are supposed to be the most intelligent kids, you know, they're in college and at a big Ivy school, and it's hard to get in those colleges. Kudos for anybody that does
Right.
legally and not,
Right.
mommy and daddy paid their way to get in. Um, you know, they deserve credit where credit is due.
Right.
But, you know, you would think that these people would be able to think for themselves, and you would think that they wouldn't want to be followers.
Oh no, they're like little ducks. They
Right.
were just going along like little ducks right after everybody screaming and chanting everything the one guy said on the bullhorn. They said it right back. And I thought, you know what? Do you even know what you're saying? Do you even know what it means to say from the river to the sea? Because if you don't know what it means, you need to keep your mouth shut.
Right.
But
Right.
they just do whatever they want to do. So some people just like to be in the middle of all of everything, and they don't even care what they're fighting for. They're just wanting to be in the middle.
They just want drama. Drama, drama, drama. I hate drama.
Me
I can't
too.
stand drama.
Me too.
I steer clear of it every chance I get.
Me too. Me too.
Life is too short for drama. I'm not going to quibble and argue and bicker over silly little things that is not going to matter 10 years from now.
Do you
But I
know what?
do, before I say this, I want to say what's scary about this whole protest thing and everything,
Mhm.
folks, in just a few short 10, 15 years, these people will be running this country.
Now there's a scary thought, ain't it? We already got a couple of them up there, and the one said when they got him on TV, they were talking, and she said, they go, well, what are you going to do from here? I mean, you already been sitting here walking up and down the street screaming and hollering like a bunch of wild turkeys. And so what are you going to do now? What's next? And she goes, well, we haven't heard from the squad yet. And I thought, the squad? Are we talking Talib and Omar and all the rest of them and AOC? Is that who we're talking about?
I
Because
don't
if
know.
they're linked to that, they need to go with these people when they get them out of there.
Right. But I mean, you know, their final exam should be done, correct? They should be done.
They were
And I
supposed to
know
have taken their
my daughter-in-law, she's done with her finals. So, and the graduation is canceled. So why is people not leaving the campus that don't need to be there?
because what they want is they want they want all of the things that they want to be said that they're going to get them or they're not going to stop. And one of them is they don't want anybody in the campus to do business with anybody in Israel.
Oh, I saw that. Mhm.
Uh, who are they to say who they can do business with? I'm going to go walk into my local Walmart and I'm going to say, you know what, by golly, I don't want you to do one more damn thing with China. I'm
Right.
tired of getting things and it says made in China. You think they're going to listen to me?
Sure. Why not?
Now they're going to say, Miss Connie, the door's right there. Make sure it don't hit you on your way out. They're
Exactly.
not going to listen to me.
Nope.
I
Nope.
guess I
Not
need to
one.
be parading up and down the street with bullhorn, screaming from China to wherever. I'm tired of your junk.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
I don't get it, and I don't, and I might not be the most educated person in the world, and that's fine. I don't care. I do a little bit of reading here and there when I feel like it. But you know what? I will tell you, I do have common sense, and common sense says
Right.
that you'll start something that is going to lead to trouble, and you
Well,
definitely don't follow somebody that's a loud mouth with a bullhorn.
you know what, Connie? There are three kinds of people in this world.
Mhm.
There are book smart,
Mhm.
There are street smart,
Mhm.
and then there are book and street smart. Those are the three kinds of people. And a lot of the book smart are not street smart.
Oh no. No. No.
And a lot of the street smart are not book smart.
Yeah, they can't spell worth the day with the worth the dink.
Well,
Um,
no, they can't spell, but I bet you if you put, let's say, I don't know, a motor in front of them, they could tear it apart and put it back together
I'll
and not
bet you
have
they
any
could.
extra pieces.
I'll bet you they could pick a lock in about 10 seconds.
Some of them probably, yeah,
You know,
yeah.
or they could. What else could they do? Come on, guys. What do you think? Put in your 2 cents worth. What do you think these people could do? They could. They could take the wheels off your car in about an hour. Jack up your car and take wheels off of it. Shoot. I think they can take your right now. They can take your catalytic converter off your car in about 25 minutes now. So don't be planning on being spend more time in Piggly Wiggly than you need to, because you'll come back and your catalytic converter will be gone.
Right. But I mean, being street smart has its advantages.
Well, you know
Not
what?
all of them are criminals, and you need to know, like, for instance, let's say you got Alice, that's book smart,
Mm-hmm.
and you got Franco, that's street smart. Now Alice has to go from point A to point B in a downtown urban area. So Alice is going to just put on her backpack and she's going to walk la, 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 and have headphones in and be on her phone.
Her GPS is going to tell her how to get there.
Yeah.
Mm,
And Franco, he's going to be looking around and he's going to be peeking around corners. Now, that's street smart opposed to book smart. That's what I'm talking about.
yep.
Because he knows that trouble lurks around the corner.
Oh yeah, he's watching his back.
Right. And she is totally oblivious to that. She has no idea.
You're right. You're right. And you know what? And Royal Apple, you're right too. Right now we have Marshmallow Head that's trying to protect the United States. And at this point, might as well have, I don't know, nothing is as stupid as he is. I'm trying to think what else could there be that'd be any smart. There isn't anything stupider than him than a rock. So maybe that's it. We're being protected by a rock, a pet rock. Remember
You
Pet
took the
Rock?
words right out of my mouth.
Oh yeah, we got a pet rock as president. We need to take some of that hair from that what was those fuzzy things that we had, that troll doll. We could take the hair off the troll
Yeah,
doll and put it on the rock, and put him up there, and he could run for president. I bet he'd win. I bet he'd win. Could name him and everything.
absolutely.
Yep, yep. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. We gotta say a whole lot of prayers because we need somebody a whole lot. We need somebody a little bit smarter and a little bit wiser and a whole lot tougher. Yeah, we have him too, Obama. He's doing his thing. He didn't get his agenda done the first two go arounds that he had, so he put a puppet up there and decided to take his third term. Well, you know what? I hate to be the one to inform him, but the two terms he did, he couldn't get it done, and he's almost accomplished it the third time, but I don't think he's going to get it done. I think it's all going to backfire right in his face, and I think it's going to backfire hard.
I have to be honest that I really had high hopes for Obama. I really hoped that he could get this country back together. And all he did was in my opinion, divide it further.
Well, you know what? I am going to tell you this: when Obama came in on the scene, because I didn't even know who he was till one time he was up there talking. I only saw him once, and he was talking, doing a speech, and I thought that man has got the best silver tongue I have ever heard in my life. I loved everything he had to say. Man, he made his speeches sound good. Too bad
Yep.
he didn't do one form thing that he said he was going to do.
Yep.
Not one.
No.
You know, it's the
A sad
saddest thing.
disappointment.
It's the
Sad
saddest thing.
disappointment.
You know, it would have been nice. It'd have been real
Yeah.
nice, but
It would
no.
have.
Dope. And you know, and then the puppet man, he's up there and he is just grinning ear to ear because you know what he thinks he's doing all of this. He thinks he's. I watched him today. They had him live on TV, and he said, "And I have brought down the deficit." And I thought, have you looked at the TV lately? The deficit's going up higher and higher every day. What world are you in? Not this world.
Did you see him talking about what's going on the campuses?
I had to turn him off. He makes me sick. What'd he say?
Again, this was passing through. I didn't catch the whole thing, but he said, "This is America, and we don't act that way."
Oh, that's doing a whole lot there, isn't it? Isn't that like taking your kid to the store and he steals a piece of candy and you take the candy and put it back and slap his hands and tell him don't ever do that again
Right.
while they're burning buildings down?
Right.
They do lie. Roll Apple, you're right. They do lie and they think it's and they believe it.
Yeah.
There's a
Yeah.
word for that. What is it? They call them you're
Hypocrite.
a habitual or what is it? The one that believes their lies. Oh,
Mm,
yeah, habitual's one that there's a word for it, but
narcissist.
they're all about their self. They call them. They're a chronological liar. They're and they believe their lies. They tell you a lie and they believe their self.
Compulsive.
Yeah, that's some kind of disorder.
Yeah. A
Well,
compulsive liar. I
yeah,
know a few of those.
you know, and they believe it. You know, they're the kind of people that could look at you and tell you it was green and they believe it's green and they will swear to you it's green and it's really not, it's purple. And you're looking at them going, no, that's purple. Oh, no, it's green. And they will try to make you believe it's green.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Those
Compulsive
people.
liars. You're right. You're right. Compulsive liars. They
Yep.
should have never put that statue on the top of the building in New York. That was their biggest mistake when they put Bale on top of the building in New York. You know Bale's having himself a good old time. No wonder they were walking along like little ducks, saying whatever under a little
Mhm.
spell.
Right.
Goofy
Right.
people. Goofy people. So that's kind of my history and news for the day. If you guys all want to comment on this student thing, you're more than welcome to. I have watched 3 days of it and they're all taking turns. It's like dominoes. Started with Columbian University and now I think it's Michigan that's having its deal this time, right?
Uh,
They just started up. And UCLA hasn't stopped yet. They just
right.
keep on going.
Right.
They're bullheaded people over there at that university because they just keep on going.
Yeah, they do. They do. They do. They do. They do.
Well, Linda, you bring your news to the table.
Okay. Well, it's been on the news. I got visitors. It's thank you. It's been on the news and it's
Special delivery.
in the news.
Hubby.
Ugh. Can I have a straw, please? Thank you. Um, yeah.
You
Anyway.
get your food faster if you tip more, lady.
Anyway. So they brought me something to drink.
Well, that was mighty kind of them.
Yeah. Yeah. So, um, I've been seeing on the news a lot of scams,
Mhm,
people being scammed.
mhm.
And I know they say it on the news over and over and over and over. Don't give money to strangers.
Right, and they have a tendency to target elderly people, they say.
Right.
Right.
Exactly. So, me being single, I'm tired of being at home, you know, figured I'd get back out there. Went on a couple dating sites, met somebody. Now, there's usually a bunch of red flags, and I'm going to tell you the red flags, and I'm going to tell you how you can find out if they're up to no good. There's several websites. Now, some of them do cost money, but I don't know. I'm thinking like you can pay $1 for a week and then cancel it, like a trial offer.
Sure.
And some of them are a little bit more. I mean, and if you're going to be like a serial dater, then you might just want the service to stay on there. I mean, I, I'm not a serial dater. So anyway, but yes, definitely a royal apple. So anyway, my experience was that, I was talking to somebody. First red flag, if they want to get you off of that site from doing the chat. Now, usually you're kind of iffy about it. And I have talked to other people, it's like, oh my God, I'm so sick of texting. Can we just talk on the phone? And to me, sometimes that's better. But
Sure.
when they're pushing the issue and pushing the issue, you know, um, that's usually a red flag. And then when they start calling you 2 or 3 times a day, and this goes on, and and they're schmoozing you up, and they're telling you that they have to go out of town, or they are out of town, but they'll be back in town. Um, And if they tell you, "Oh, well, let's get together," "We'll get together real soon. Real soon we'll get together." And then something always comes up that they can't get together. That is a red flag, folks. Those are all red flags.
At first, I'd think that the person was lonely because that's why they kept calling me all the time, and that would bother me by itself. But
Right,
quit calling me
right,
all the time. I don't got time to talk on the phone all the time.
right. And the other thing is that, if you're talking to this person for a couple of weeks and they hit you with, "Hey, I got to tell you something." It's like, "What's that?" "I love you."
Oh my God! You know what? I didn't fall in love with Clyde till I was with him for at least 2 years, and then I've been with him now 35, and I'm not sure if I've even fell in love with him yet. I'm just teasing. He's my best friend, but
Right.
no, it don't happen in no 2 weeks. I'm telling you right now.
No. And then here's a way, even before you even talk to this person, to check their profile, look it up. Look up the person.
Yeah.
You've got Ben Verified out there. That's a great one to look somebody up on,
Hmm.
or go through their profile if it's on, you know, the F1, go on there and you can look through their profile. And here's a good clue. If they only have one picture, no information, maybe possibly a birth date, that's a fake profile. That is a fake profile. And when you're talking to this person, if there's inconsistencies, for instance, it says, "I'm a Gemini." "Oh, you have a birthday coming up?" "Nope. My birthday was in February. Oh,
Oh, yeah. You know what? You better make sure you remember what you put on your dating site. If you're
yeah.
gonna lie, you better remember what you are when you're lying.
Well, yeah. And can they or will they video chat you? Oh my, yes, they will. We have this little thing called AI, and they're learning to master it. And what they do, everybody, is they take pictures from somewhere. It could be overseas, that somewhere you will never ever see. And they take the pictures and they use these pictures because, people are getting smarter to these scammers. And it's like, oh, well, you're out of town working, send me pictures. And the next thing you know, you get all these pictures rolling through. And it's like, oh, okay. And then you start thinking, well, maybe they are on the up and up. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you're using somebody else's pictures. If their life is too exciting and if they're smoozing you with poems and this and that, no, nobody's going to do that. Nobody's going to do that at first. I'm not saying there's not men out there that do that, but nobody's going to start sending, 3 paragraphs of how the sun rises and sets on your face. They'll send it to you.
Oh my God, I wouldn't know what to do if I got a poem that said the sun rises on my face.
Well, and here's the other thing. They probably aren't even calling you from that phone, or it's a burner phone. Because if you call them, they never answer the phone.
And you know what? That drip's so sappy. That is some sappy stuff going on there for 2 weeks.
Yeah. And, um, if if the profile picture looks like it was taken a while ago, it probably was, because it's probably fake. And yes, they will call you, they will chat with you, they will text you. Do not ever, and I did not do this, do not ever give out any kind of information. Do not give out your address. Do not, I mean, it's bad enough they have your phone number.
Mm-hmm.
Do not give out your email address because they know everybody uses everything on their phones nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
So, if they're intelligent enough to go to the back end of that, they can have your address and access to your bank accounts if you have that on your phone. I don't, thank goodness.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I'm just saying, and they will make you feel like you are the queen of the world. And they will lead you to believe this, that, and the other thing. And then all of a sudden, the bottom falls out. They got paid. They can't cash the check. They can't get home. Um, I've got friends sending me money, but I'm just a little bit short. Um, you know, my relative is really sick and they need an operation. Well, I don't know what country they're in, but here in America, they do the operation. You don't have to prepay.
Yeah, no, you get the bill later.
Right. You don't have to prepay.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, no, that's not how it goes either. So anyway, what I wanted to bring up too is if they profess their love for you quickly.
Run like the devil. Make sure you run like the wind and run as fast as you can.
If they claim
Run. Go,
if
Forrest,
they,
go.
yep, if they claim that they're from the United States, but they have to go overseas, or they are overseas but they're from the United States, Run, 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 run.
Yeah, run fast.
Yep. And if
Hmm.
they claim that they need money for an emergency, but they have other people helping them, blah 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 blah. It will come. Trust me,
Hmm.
it will come.
Hmm.
And they plan to visit, but they can never visit because there's always an emergency that comes up.
Hmm.
Always an emergency. Now, if you happen to be on a dating site, there are two codes that you can put into your phone if you gave somebody obviously your phone number and or email, and you can put in star hashtag 21 hashtag. That will bring up your phone information to see if anybody has gotten in there to get into it. Should all say disabled unless you enabled it. If it says active, able, turned on, any of that, and you didn't do it, there's a good chance that your phone has been hacked.
And it does it matter what kind of phone? If it's an
No,
iPhone or it? Oh,
nope,
really?
it
Really? It
doesn't
don't
matter.
matter.
It does not matter at all. Because here's the thing, guys. You are not, you are not ever going to catch these people.
Hmm.
You're not. Because 9 times out of 10, they either have a burner phone or they hack the phone.
They do it for a living. That's what they do for a living.
So I mean, I caught on and I played the game for a little bit, you know, and it's like, okay, and then everything was going great. Everything was going so good. And I'm going to get a airplane ticket home and we're going to live the life and travel the world. No, right about there is when the BS screen went up and it was like, okay, you know, how do you know I'm not a mass murderer?
This is true too.
You know? And so anyway, and the other code is star hashtag 62 hashtag. Either one of those codes will work on any phone at all.
Hmm.
You have to keep your eyes out. I mean, because there's all kinds of scams out there, but I wanted to do one on this particular one because, I mean, let's face it, if somebody calls you and tells you you won the lottery and I don't want to call you people stupid, but you're stupid enough to believe it that somebody's calling to tell you you won the lottery, just send us $10,000 and we'll send you your check. You deserve to lose that money. I'm sorry.
Come on, wait a minute. Now, you know what? I've been waiting since I was about, I don't know, about 21, 22 years old. And that's been quite a while ago, if y'all don't know. But I've been waiting for Ed McMahon. Oh, you know what? He died, didn't he?
Yeah.
Well, I've been waiting for him to come knocking on my door with my publisher's clearinghouse check
Right. Right.
forever.
Right.
Forever. And he
And
don't.
there are so many scams out there. So many scams going. There's the scam of um my grandchild called me because they can get it. They can get that voice. Grandchild calls you, they're in trouble. They need $5,000 to get out of jail. Well, I did get one of those calls one time. True story.
Meemaw
And
got
it-
one too.
and it's like, well, that's funny because it just so happened that my grandson was spending the night that night. And at the time, I think my grandson was about 7. And it's like, well, that's funny. He's laying in bed sleeping. He's 7 years old. Click.
Meemaw got one, and they called her up, and told her that my son was in. No, it was my son, and he was in Mexico, and he was going to jail. He'd went to Mexico for a friend's wedding,
Mm.
and he was going to jail, and he needed $1,500 or 2,000 or something to get out of jail, and my Poor little Mima believed it. And she goes, well, I don't have that kind of money. But your sister will you call me back so I can get this money too? And of course the sister walked in and she said, yeah, have him tell him to call me because I just saw him yesterday.
Right. Right. See, and that's just it. All you have to do is outsmart these people, but they're scamming older people. And I don't know, people. Me, I worked hard for my money. I'm not just going to hand it out to somebody because they have a sob story for me. I'm sorry, that sounds heartless.
Mm.
But, I mean, now if I'm walking down the street and I see somebody that, is asking for money or asking for food, I'll go in a restaurant and I'll get them a hamburger. Here, so you can eat. I'll do that. But I'm not about to spend 5,000, 10,000, 20,000. You know, come on. Come on. Where is your common sense? I mean, you can't be desperate. I
Well,
guess
you could be.
that's the whole thing is what I'm saying. Is just because somebody's paying you attention doesn't mean that they're, doesn't mean that they're going to love you instantly like they proclaim to.
Not in 2 weeks.
I mean, and they move it along real quick, real quick, real quick. And, and I mean, and sometimes you just have to sit back and laugh. And it's like, did you really think, you're thinking, did they really think I would believe that?
There's
You
some
know?
people out there that would, that are that lonely that would.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. And I know there's a lot of older people out there that don't have family. And I know there's a lot of older people out there that have family that live far away. And they're just
Mhm.
lonely and they're grateful. And they prey on those people,
They do.
you
They
know.
do. They
But
do.
people just need to start getting smart
Mhm.
and just, close your pocketbook, close your checkbook, close whatever.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
by no means ever email an email that they asked you to email information to.
Oh no.
So if somebody sends you an email and says, "Can you email this person and email this information to that person?" No, don't do it.
Yeah, so
Don't
why don't
do it.
they do it themselves? Say, if you got the email, why don't you do it yourself? Well,
In the
I
time
ain't your
you took to type out
secretary.
in the time you took it to type out to me, you could have typed it out to that person.
Yeah,
Just saying.
see? And I ain't
Just
your
saying.
secretary, so you know what? That ain't
Right,
gonna
right,
happen. So let's don't even go there.
right.
I saw a homeless person one time, and they were on the street, and they had that sign, the one that says "We'll work for food." Well, I got news for you. Most of the time, they don't want to work; they just want you to give them some money. But this one said, "Why lie? I want a beer." And I thought, you know what? I'm gonna pull over and give this guy some money because at least he's being honest.
Right, right.
Because that's
Yeah,
what most of them want anyway.
true. That's true. Yep, absolutely. Positively. I remember, and this is a true story. Um, I don't like bringing up past tragedies, but back like 14 years ago, the house I was living in burnt down to the ground. We lost everything.
That's
Absolutely
terrible.
everything.
That's terrible.
It was rough.
Mhm.
But I remember I had, the only place to go was to my mom and dad's. So we went to my mom and dad's, and I went to the dollar store because I needed a toothbrush and toothpaste. I had nothing, absolutely nothing. No shampoo, no nothing.
Mhm.
So I went there, and there was a little old lady in front of me, and she had, and I'm not kidding, she had a can of tuna fish, a can of catfish, and not catfish, cat food, cat
Mhm.
and she had a little individual roll of cookies, you know, and she had something else, and she was short. She was short like $1.30 or something, and she was going to put back the tuna fish, and it was like no. And I said, just give it to her. I says, and then just keep ringing my stuff on, and I'll pay for it. It was like $4 or $5. And my younger son was with me, and he was like, Mom, you just lost everything. And I said, yeah, I did. I sure did. I said, but you know what? I have $4 or $5 more than she does.
And you know what? The Lord's going to bless you for that. I can promise you. I was at the Piggly Wiggly one time, and I was in pharmacy, and there was a little lady that was in a wheelchair, one of those moped ones that they drive around, and she was counting out pennies trying to get her medication, and I think she was. I think she was like $12 or $13 short, or might have been right around there. But she was short, and she said, "Well, you go ahead and you put that medication back, and I'll be back next week when I get my check to pick it up." And the lady took it back, and she tootled on in her little cart. And I told that lady behind, I said, "You know what? I want to pay for that lady's medicine right now, and I want you to call her back over here and give it to her, because I don't know what was that medication. She might have needed that the next day. It could have been for her heart or something. Who knows?" And I
You know
went ahead and
what?
paid for it. I paid for it, and I said, "And now I'm going to leave, and I don't want you to tell her who did it. I
Right.
just want you just to go ahead
Yep.
and take care of it."
I remember one time I had to stop at the pharmacy before I went into work. And I went in, got what I needed to get, and it was some, personal items. And it was Friday.
Mm-hmm.
I swiped my debit card. Well, my bank hadn't deposited my paycheck yet.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, well, try it again. It's been acting up. And I'm like, okay. So I swiped it again and it didn't work. And this gentleman, and he was younger than me, like quite a bit younger than me. And he's like, just go ahead and give it to her. I will pay it for her. It was $25.
See, you know what? God
So
watches
there
out for
are
us.
there
There
are
are good
good.
people. There
There
are
are
good
good
people.
people. And that's
Mhm.
what I wanted to end with is that, it's not all gloom and doom.
No,
If you show good, it will come back to you. Not that you want it back, not that you expect. I don't expect it back. I never expected anybody to pay that kind of
mm-mm,
money
mm-mm,
for my, stuff that I needed. I
no.
mean, and I asked him for his phone number so I could, call him and pay him later that day. And, I says, I can meet up with you and I will pay you back, you know. Then he's like, no, I mean, he saw my work outfit that I was in because I had to wear a uniform at that particular job.
Mm,
And he's like, no, I says, well, then can you come up to where I work and I'll pay you back? And he says, no, no, just no, just pay it forward.
just have yourself a good day.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. And so, there are still goodness in people's hearts. It takes a minute to find it
Hmm.
sometimes. And because I'm going to tell you, I'm not discouraged about, dating because I saw it coming. But I mean, you figure these women that get taken advantage of, I mean, and they think that they're in love with this person and this person loves them, and then they're completely and totally devastated because now they're out the money, they're out the love of their life, and what do they have left?
Nothing.
Their family's probably screaming at them for sending money,
Oh,
so
I'm
you
sure.
can doghouse all the way around.
Yep.
No.
Yep.
And I can understand that, but just know, at least my opinion, and my opinion is there's a special place in hell for those people
You know it.
that do those things. I mean, and don't get me wrong, gentlemen, there are women scammers out there too. I mean,
Mhm.
nothing better than playing the helpless little, oh my gosh, the
Oh
car's
yeah.
broken down, I can't afford to get it fixed.
You know what, Norm? You're right. I have seen. You know what? I used to when I was working.
Right.
I used to see some girls that knew what to do and how to give you the little flirty thing and bat their eyes at you and tell you sweet nothings, and then they want something, whatever it may be, or it's like, oh, I sure do like that diamond pair of earrings. Do
Right.
you? Do you? Well, why don't you buy them for yourself then?
Right. Right.
Yeah, no, no. Like I said, I've been with my Clyde for 35 years, and
And bless your heart and his too.
and you know what? And that's because I married my best friend. I already knew we were friends before we were anything else.
No, that's great.
And I look over and I think to myself, if I had to get back out into that world, that it's almost like a mosh pit. It'd be scary. I don't know if I could get back into a thing like that.
And sitting here, I just started thinking, say for instance, you were, I don't know, back in the 80s, and you went to the club and you met somebody.
Oh, remember that boy? I tell you what, they were dancing it up and doing all kinds of things in the
Right.
80s at bars. Yeah.
But so you go on a couple of dates and you talk on the phone.
Mm.
Do you think it would be normal if that person would have asked you for 10,000, 20,000? I
Well,
mean,
I got to tell you, in the 80s, I was lucky to have two nickels to rub
there
together.
you
So,
go.
I don't think they would have gotten too much out of me. But no, that would have been a definite red flag for me.
Right, exactly. I mean, and it's no different today, and that's the point I'm trying to get to. Is it's no different today if you're talking to somebody and they're really on these, I mean, and I've seen some of the profiles on there, you can tell these guys have been burned. And it's like, I mean, mine, it says you won't get my number until you've been verified. I'm sorry.
Well, you know what? And nowadays, and this goes for women too, Norm goes for men too.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
almost want to tell them, excuse me, before we go out on a date, before we get too serious, can you go to the doctor and get a blood test and make sure you don't have no diseases? Because Lord knows I don't want any diseases.
Right, right,
Isn't that sick that you have to think like that?
right. Exactly. But, and then I was talking to another gentleman, and he's like, it's sad because he had gone on a couple of dates with a woman, and she knew his name, his address, his birthday, his telephone number. She knew everything about him. And he was like, really? You know,
That could be fatal attraction right there getting ready to happen.
and she also said, I I can't remember how many people he said she had told, two or three of her friends or family or something, where she was, who she was meeting, and the information. And he sat back and he said, it's a shame that the women have to do that nowadays. And my comment was that if I go anywhere, my phone is on Find My Phone, and it's shared with my iPhone family, but I also tell my Android family
Hmm.
where I'm going, the route I'm taking. And at first my boys thought I was out of my mind. They're like, well, what do we care? And it's like, you
Because
might want to.
I might need help.
Right.
There's some
Right.
crazy people out there.
Right. And I also told them, I mean, they're grown men, but I also told them that if I call you at night and I'm not home, please answer your phone. Please.
Yeah, because I might be on the side of the road or God only knows where I'm at.
Exactly.
That's
Yeah.
it. That's
Right.
it.
Right. And and the same, I mean, the same goes for men too. There can be very caring men out there that run into these evil
A
women
gold
that
digger. A gold
are a
digger. They
gold
go,
digger
yeah,
too.
they get
Yeah.
them gold digging women that want something. Yeah, no thanks. I'd
Yeah. I
rather
mean,
do
I feel
without.
bad. I feel bad for men because, you know, I mean, it really can even get worse for men
Hmm.
because then she can, those gold diggers, they can play that, they can play that scenario out for years and years. They just don't go right in for the 1-2 punch.
No, and they don't ask for $20,000 right at the first. I don't
No,
think
they want that diamond ring, and then they want the wedding, and then they want this and
they
that, and
want the new
yep, and then
house, and
and then they
yeah,
start siphoning the bank accounts, and bada boom, bada bing, you're broke as a joke, and you're retiring, you know,
and
and that's
she's on her way
horrible,
to her next victim.
and that is horrible for anybody to do it to anybody,
Yes, it is.
man, woman, it
It
doesn't
is.
matter, you know.
Well, I'm telling you, there's a special place in hell for people like that.
Uh-huh.
They got it all blocked off. Hey, Norm, did you do your homework? Did you bring me a news report of some sort that we haven't talked about?
Now he's gonna ghost us. Do 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 do.
Right. Or did anybody bring me a news report of some sort other than me
Lauren,
and Linda?
Lauren, I know you're watching. Do you have your news report?
Royal Apple, did you bring me a news report? Look, it's like dead silence.
I hear crickets.
I hear lots of crickets, and in the city, that's pretty good when you get because I. What kind of news? You just tell me what kind of news that is. Tell me what shocked you this week. What was on the news that shocked you this week? Or happened
Well,
in your life that shocked you this week? I
we
just want
might,
some
we,
news.
we might be better off asking her what didn't shock her this
Uh,
week in the news.
right, right. Did you hear some good news? Because we just want to hear. We just want to kind of see what's shocking news. Shocking news. It's all crazy. I know it. It is. It's speaking of crazy. You know what? Did you guys hear about that? What is it? Title 9, Title Tax 9. That it had something to do. Well, Trump wrote it. It only had 32 letters in, or it only had 32 words in it when he wrote it. But now it has 4,900 words in it. And it's the one that they want everybody to sign off on.
That's horrible, Royal Apple.
And we know this for sure, huh? And we're sure, aren't we, Royal Apple? It is. It's a very sad thing.
When are they going to leave our babies alone?
You know what? Your friend needs to take his son and run like hell. They need to leave our babies alone. Yep. See, there's another one that there's a special place in hell for too. Don't you worry. There's a special place in hell for them too.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, when he's ready, he'll talk to you about it. Don't worry.
Right.
He's
Right.
probably living in shock right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
That.
you know it, you feel it, you think
Yep.
it. You just
Yep. Yep. We've got a situation not quite that bad. But we have a situation with my younger grandson Poseidon, and my son doesn't talk about
listen.
it too much because he's in his head trying to figure the next move. You
Right,
know, I mean, it has
right.
nothing. It's not nothing to do sexual, but it's still extremely horrible. And I will keep um prayers if you want to share the name of just the first name so we can keep them in our prayers.
I do
That
too, Royal Apple. I
not,
love children too.
yep. And we all love children.
They're so innocent. There's nothing better than the
Mhm.
innocence that you see in a child's eyes. They learn so much. They're like little sponges.
Uh-huh.
I love children. Hey Norm, I asked you if you had any news. Is what I asked you.
Children are definitely God's gift. That's the way I look at it.
I think they're a
They are
blessing.
heaven.
Yep. I think they're a little piece of heaven myself.
And my son said this one time, and at first I thought it was kind of a cruel thing to say, but then maybe not. Because you can take it two ways. Because he's like, people that can't have kids, there's a reason for that.
Yeah.
And
Well, and
I always
be,
thought that was kind of harsh. But then I started thinking, okay, it could be one of two things. Either you're not meant to be a parent,
hmm
or you're meant to be that foster mom and dad. You're meant to be that adoptive mom and dad. And that's why you can't have children.
this is true. Okay, so I got a little story to tell you. See, I have this friend, and we used to talk all the time, and me mom told me that only special people had special children. If you know what I mean by special children, and my friend has a special child. Well, they took this child from her because she wouldn't get the COVID shot. Wouldn't let her have the COVID shot, and she fought like the devil. And I told her, I said, friend, don't you worry. You're going to get that baby back. You'll have that baby back before you know it. You're going to get that baby back. And you know what? As far as I know, she got that baby back. She's got her baby back.
Yay. Amen.
You know?
Yeah.
And hallelujah to you, Norm. You're
Yes.
alive with a
Right.
baby. Good deal. That's amazing. Thank you, dear Jesus.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yep. Yep. I used to say prayers for my little friend and her daughter all the time. In fact, she's still in my prayers with her daughter.
Right. Right.
But life is going good for them right now, and makes me really happy.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you know, and do not let the devil mess you up.
No,
Don't,
no,
because
no.
he can come in and he can make you think that this was sent from God above, hence the scammers. And I tell you, he's good. He's real good. But,
Yeah, her
but,
baby's going to be home tomorrow. Yeah, I'll say a prayer, Royal Apple. I'll say another prayer. I'll just keep
uh,
saying prayers. And I'm going to say prayers for Norman and his pacemaker.
absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Oh, you know
Uh,
what? Let me tell you something, Norm. My people used to say, "You ain't going nowhere until God has a purpose for everybody, and whatever that purpose is, whether it be big or small, you ain't going off this earth whether they have to put you in a wheelchair. You ain't going nowhere till your purpose is done."
Right,
And
right.
I don't know what my purpose is, but I know it don't seem like I'm going anywhere anytime soon.
I'm with you. I'm with you on that. I don't know. There's sometimes I just look up and it's like, what do you need from me? you know?
Right, right. And the Lord said, "You know what, Norm? Your ticker ain't working so great, so we're going to give you a little help to make your ticker keep on going until you get yourself your purpose done.
Right, right.
So you're going to be around a while."
Yep,
Yeah,
yep.
we're all here for a reason.
Yes, we are.
Absolutely. We are here all for a reason. And sometimes I wonder what mine is, but it's all right. It's all right. I'm sure it'll all be revealed to me someday when I wake up and I ain't here anymore.
Right, right,
You know,
right.
I
Well,
see those
you know,
pearly gates. You know, I gotta tell this joke. Anybody feel like laughing? I gotta tell this joke.
go for it.
So there was this guy, and he he's a multi-millionaire, right? And he's getting ready to die and go to heaven, and he told God, he said, "You know what?" He said, "Can't I take a little bit of this stuff with me?" And God said, "No, you don't take anything with you. There's nothing that you need in heaven that's down here that we don't have in heaven." And he said, "Oh, please, please just let me take one thing with me." And he said, "Okay, well, I'll tell you what, I'll let you take one thing with you, and that's it." So when the man died, he had a suitcase, and he got up there, and Peter was at the gate, and he said, what do you, we got this suitcase for?" And he said, "Well, God said I could bring something with me." And he said, "He did?" And he said, "What was so important on the earth that you had to bring to heaven?" And he opened up his suitcase, and it was all these golden bars. And he said, "You brought road pavement?" It was it was so important to you to bring road paving because you know the streets are lined with gold in heaven.
Right,
I love that. I love that joke. I think that joke is
right,
so funny.
right. It's, well,
Yeah,
he wanted to help Jesus out and the crew up there.
yeah. He wanted to pave somebody's road.
I mean, but there's a lot of people that if they could, they would do that. They would take it with them.
I got news for you. There ain't a dab burn thing that I'd want to take with me. Not one form thing. Not one thing. In fact, we were talking about cremation. Me and Mima were talking about cremation, and she said, "Do you want to be buried in the ground?" And I said, "No, I want to be cremated." And she goes, "You want to be cremated?" And I said, "Yeah, I just want to speed up the process a little bit. Because it says from ashes you were made and ashes you'll return. But if I'm buried in a tomb or in a coffin somewhere, it takes an awful long time to turn back to ashes. So I just want to speed up the process.
Right, right.
And I don't want to be on the food chain."
That's funny because the thing is that people think that like worms get in your nose and stuff like that. And you're in a sealed cement box,
Oh,
people.
they can. I'm telling you what, things can get in places I've seen bugs get in places that I know there was no doggone way they could have gotten in there and they were in there.
Uh,
No, no,
that's okay. That's
it's all
okay.
right.
I'm going the cremation route too.
I am. Blow
It's
my ashes to the wind. My mama said, "You know what? We can't do that because in the Bible it says that your body's going to come back together. And you're all gonna rise." And I said, "It does say that, Mama. It does say that. But what about those people that fell off a ship somewhere and became shark meat?"
right.
there wasn't nothing left to put in no casket there. You don't think God can put he made us for Pete's sake. He can put us all back together.
Right, right.
He'll just have old Jaws cough you up and you'll be just fine. You know? That's it. Roasty toasty. That's right. That's what I want to be. And I have no doubt in my mind that's what I want. That's what I want. I told my mama there's a story when Peepaw died. She was beside herself. They'd been married 50 some years, and she said, "I just can't do this. I just can't do this. I just can't. You want me to pick out something to put his body in?" And I said, "It's called an urn, Mama. It's called an urn." And she said, "You okay? Well, and I don't know what he'd like." And I said, "Well, you know what? Pick something you like." And she said, "Well, why would I do that?" And I said, "Because when you die, you're going in it with him. So make sure you like it."
Oh,
Oh, well, that makes things a little bit different. Then I think that I think we'll just get that one right there. Yeah, it's pretty amazing when you're getting it for
yeah.
yourself.
I got a tip for everybody out there for the people that want to be cremated. True story. My brother is in an urn from a dog cemetery. My parents went to pick out an urn for him, and they were so flipping expensive.
Yeah,
They were $300, $400, $500.
they're crazy. They were crazy. I
And they
remember.
got the same urn for $79.99 at a pet cemetery. Yes.
Well, there
And
you go.
it doesn't have paws or anything like that on it,
It
and,
don't matter.
nobody knows until now.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna get a great big urn. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get me a great big one, and then I'm gonna have them say, "Well, this is Peepaw. Can you open it up and pour him in?" And then I'll get this other one, and then put me ma in there too. And if you get it big enough, we can get the whole darn family in there. Let's get a great big one.
Right. Uh,
You know who needs mausoleum? Well, I needs a great big jug.
yeah. Well, I told my boys that I wanted to be cremated, and, I said, "But that doesn't mean that you can put me on a shelf in the closet." I said, "I will haunt you. I will haunt you every day." I said, "No, you put me front and center, smack dab on that mantle."
Yeah, I want to be looked at everywhere everybody goes. I want somebody to see me right here.
That's right,
I
that's
am
right.
right here. My presence is
That's
right here.
exactly.
Mm,
I just want you to know I am still watching you.
I am watching over you and everyone else in
That's
this house.
right.
And I
That's
can
right.
see you still have that crazy dog that you used to have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, guys, Norm, I don't know if you heard. I guess I'll go ahead and repeat it because
go ahead.
Linda Linda said it at the beginning, but I'm going to say it now. So we've decided that maybe we'd like to go on 2 times a week instead of just on Thursdays. So we were talking about going on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 6 Central Time. What do y'all think? Y'all want to see us 2 times a week, or is one time a week plenty long enough? Now I can understand it if you just say one time's enough because I'm a lot to handle. I can hear him say just once, please, just tell him once, only one
But I
time.
mean, to be fair, we're hashing the idea back and forth like one night to do like funny interactive stuff,
Yeah.
one night to do like the headlines, but keep it as lighthearted as possible. But Connie has a tendency to have her rants, but that's
Oh
okay.
yeah.
That's
Oh
why
yeah.
we're in
I'm sorry. I gotta tell it like it is.
Yeah,
That's just the
that's
way it
okay.
is.
I haven't gotten into my rants yet.
I just tell it like it is.
Yes, you do. And there's nothing wrong with that.
You know, I tell you what Donald Trump should have taken out his platinum gold card and gave it to that old judge and said, "Here, charge it. Charge that $478 million on this card. Go ahead, charge it."
No, Connie, it's the black card.
Oh well, whatever card it is.
It's the black card.
Um, we were thinking about let's do like one day a week. We could do like nostalgia.
Yep,
You know, where
yep.
we could talk about. I don't know. We could talk about.
Old TV shows,
Yeah, I Love Lucy or the
the
Brady
Brady Bunch.
Bunch or isn't that funny how we went or Leave It to Beaver. I like Leave It to Beaver. I thought that was a good one. Or Lost in Space or something. We could figure it out, or we could talk about old toys like Stretch Armstrong or my brother had a thing. It was called a Strange Change Time Machine.
Hmm.
I don't know why that just came to my head, but it was a little thing, and it was a little. It was a little square. Came out a little plastic square, and you stuck it in this dome thing, and then you cranked it, and out popped the dinosaur.
Ah, okay.
And then when you got, I guess you're supposed to heat it back up and twist it, and it turned back into that little square thing again. But we
Hmm.
lost the little square thing, so it didn't matter. You couldn't put anything else in there that grew into anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's what we're thinking about doing. We're gonna go do like a nostalgia night, and then we're gonna do the news. But
Thanks, Mom.
we're going to do that on we were going to start on this Tuesday, but the good Lord has all kinds of blessings for people, and I've been blessed with jury duty on Monday, so I'm going to go in and tell them I don't care whatever it is that person did. I think they need the gas chamber, because I think maybe I could get out of there if they'd let me say that.
Maybe. Maybe. And
You
hopefully
know,
don't go too far overboard because I don't want a phone call that you need bail money.
well, I guess we'll find out Thursday what happened, or you'll find out on Tuesday if we're on here, right?
Right. Right.
You
Yep.
know, nope, no royal news that I know about. There ain't,
Uh-uh.
uh, you know, other than Kate had cancer, and I guess she's taking care of her. Everything's all good there,
Oh, wait,
and
wait, wait. I do have royal news.
you do.
Today is Princess Charlotte's birthday. She's 9 years old today. So
Are you
happy birthday, Princess Charlotte.
are you kidding me? She's 9 years old.
Mhm.
Wow, time goes fast. That
Yeah, the
must
little
mean
one the
that big
little one,
one must
Louis, is
be.
6 already.
I was gonna say that big one. What is he? He's got to be 12.
Um, I think he's getting close to it. He's gotta be at least 11, I would think. They got married in 2013. No, 2011. They've been married 13 years.
Yeah, and boy, and she started having those babies as soon as she could. So yeah, he's got to be 12.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow. Well, William is getting ready to take over the seat because Charles is sick. And
Yeah,
and Camilla, well, you know what? Well, everybody thinks about her. Everybody just likes her so much.
right.
She's a royal beauty, that Camilla. Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I did see a documentary that said, for years you've been hearing these rumors about the secret sister. And I ran across one that said, William speaks about the secret sister.
There's a secret sister.
Yeah, it's Camilla's daughter that's their stepsister. And she keeps to herself and stays private because she doesn't want any parts of it.
Oh, her name is Sarah.
I don't know. I don't know, but that the one I'm talking about is the one that was it just came out a couple of days ago.
Wow. Well, I guess he had to marry her, huh? He had a kid by her. He ran off the other one. Who wanted to marry that Prince Charles anyway? Him and his big old floppy ears and everything else.
Right.
Come on, who wanted to
You know,
live it? I wouldn't have
I
wanted to
I would
marry
have
him.
questioned it. I would have questioned it when they said, "Are you in love?" And she says, "Of course." And he said, "Whatever that is, whatever love is."
Well, my
That would
peep,
have been right then and there. It's really,
my
no.
peepaw said that Charles was he was around her, kind of like Harry. And he said, Harry kind of acts like his daddy. And boy, remember Harry was around her. So there you go. There you go. But I sure didn't know that. Well, Camellia. I wonder if it looks like her. Oh, Annette, that's not a good. That's not good. Think about that. That's not good. The two of them procreating and having a child.
But did you hear that
Those big old ears.
they said that she had a son by him? And that's the new thing going around is that Charles and Camilla had a son, and that they're supposed to, because there's people out there saying that somebody's going to take the throne other than William, and they're trying to say that Camilla and Charles has a son, and he's been all over YouTube saying he is their son, and he's, I want to say, in his 50s, early 50s.
Well, dang good and well that ain't gonna happen because William ain't never gonna let that happen, and Katie Wadey ain't gonna let that happen either. So, because she's been waiting patiently to become Queen Katie Wadey. So, uh, no, no, he's estranged child. He's a strange child.
Well, it was one of those stories that she had the baby and the maid took it home or something like that and was raised, that way. It was one of those kind of stories.
Well, I'm
Do you
telling you
believe it?
what.
Who knows?
I think if we rattled that cage enough of those royal people, there ain't no telling what'd fall out. And sometimes I just think I don't want to know. I mean, I just look at Charles, and every time I look at King Charles, I think your mama should have had those ears cut back or something. He's got the biggest ears I have ever
Yeah,
seen.
he does. And I'm sorry. I've never met the man, but the only thing I can think of when
I
I
am
see
so
him is
sorry, dear God.
Dumbo.
Forgive me. Forgive me. I'm saying confession right now because I don't want you to strike me dead with any kind of lightning bolt. But you know that you gave Charles big ears.
Yeah, it just the first thing that comes to mind is Dumbo. Oh, I can't say that on here. I just thought of why his ears might be so big.
Yeah.
You put your cap on.
There it is. Camilla did it. Pulled
Yep,
on his ears a little bit too much.
yeah, yep.
Yeah, I heard there was a joke about
Maybe,
that one time.
maybe.
There's
You
that.
never know.
She's a crazy thing. That Camilla is. She's crazy, crazy woman. And you know what? She was not a looker either.
You know what? No, she's not. But then I was just thinking about that phone call that they videotaped and said that he wanted to be her tampon.
Ew. See, he is just nasty. Him and those big floppy ears and
So maybe that's why his ears are so big.
oh,
Oh,
poor him. Well, you know what? Now he's got cancer
yeah,
and
that's sad.
prostate.
That's sad.
That's kind of
That's what my
karma.
dad passed from.
Well, it's karma and it's working on its Because you know what? He should have been screwing around with Camilla when he was with Diana in the first place.
No, he
So,
shouldn't.
should just fall right off.
But I mean, we could go all the way back, and you can blame his mom, because if she would have just let them get married back in the 70s when they wanted to.
Well, she should have left that one. What was he? What was he? That Duke, and then he turned into Prince. What was her husband's name? Prince. No, Prince. Oh my God! And he was a duke. See, he started out as a duke, and then they made him a prince because both his kids were princes, and he wasn't. He was just a duke. So the queen had to make him a prince. And you know what? And he was another run around too. He was running around with everything he could. She did y'all ever watch The Crown? That
Yeah.
movie there. Okay, do you remember when she took him in the bedroom and she said, "Okay, listen, this is the way it is. You can do whatever you want to. I don't care. You can screw around, but don't let me hear about it because everybody's talking about it."
Yeah.
What
Well,
was
from
his name?
my understanding,
Was it Prince Edward? Was his name Edward?
it might be. Well, from my understanding, uh,
Philip.
Prince Philip.
It
Yeah,
was
her
Philip.
husband.
Yeah,
Her
that's
husband.
yeah.
But from my understanding, he was a dog. I mean, he was
Yeah,
outside
he was.
dogging it,
He
and
was.
he's
Prince. Yep. Prince
he's
William.
he basically
Prince
told
William.
Diana from, you know, suck it up, Buttercup,
Oh,
because
William.
no, Philip.
Oh, Phil. Oh,
Philip
Philip.
Philip
I
told
know it.
told
He
Diana to
was.
suck it up about Charles and Camilla, and it's the not the crown's right, but it's, that's just the way it is.
That's
So accept it.
well. Wow. Well, and you know what? I didn't think. I don't know what y'all thought, but now you know why people aren't supposed to procreate because uh, you know the queen wasn't too bad looking. She was all right, but Prince Philip was not a real looker either. So, and I never got a good look at his ears, so that might be the reason Charles's ears are so big, because he might have got them from Philip.
Yeah, I think he did. I think he did. Well, Philip was German. Philip and Elizabeth were second cousins or something. Yeah.
They were
You didn't,
related. I didn't
you
know
didn't know
that.
that?
No, I knew that Jerry Lee Lewis, the singer, they married his second cousin.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I
But I
mean,
didn't know the royal people did stuff like that.
back all the way up into the 50s when those two married. I'm willing to believe that Charles was the first one that didn't marry family. I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but I think he's the first one that didn't marry family.
Well, who is Royal Apple? Who is Thomas Kingston's? I don't even never even heard of those people. I don't know much
I
about
haven't
the
either.
royal. Uh oh, he was a good looking royal. There was a good looking royal.
Not married in.
Yeah, he must have had his mama must have been real pretty. Oh, he's a duke. Duke Kingston. Hmm. Well, his mama must have been real pretty and his daddy must have been real nice looking because I tell you what, Charles didn't have much of a choice.
Well, William was a good-looking kid.
Well, you know what, Edward, Prince Edward, the smallest one of the
Yep,
bunch,
yep.
he's not a bad looking guy.
No, he's not. He's not.
It's the other one that's in between them that's kind of creepy.
Ugh,
Andrew.
yeah. No.
He's a lot creepy.
Yeah, that is definitely creepy, creepy.
It is creepy. Uh,
So,
Prince Edward's cousin is Gabriella. Royal Apple, you keep up with these these royal people, don't you?
Well, she's Royal Apple.
Oh, she's royal. You know what? I guess if I was Royal Apple, I'd keep up with them too. But you know what? They bore me. Although the scandal with oh uh Andrew was enough for me. I decided that I didn't want to hear anymore. That was too much.
You
But he
know,
was
the only the only one of the Queen's kids that didn't have a scandal was Edward. Charles had a scandal.
yeah, because you know what? Because Edward got the heck out of there. He
Charles had a scandal. The sister had a scandal, and
Oh, I know she was something else again, but you know what? She works her butt off right now,
yes, she does.
and she they say that she is really, really a good person. She works
Yeah,
real
yeah,
hard.
yeah. Um, Andrew had a scandal. Charles had a scandal. Well, Andrew had then Andrew's wife. What was her name? The redhead Fergie.
Fergie.
She had that toe sucking scandal.
See, I'm telling you. Look at that. No wonder you keep up with them, Royal Apple. I could learn me a piece or two if I'd keep up with them. How to suck on toes and how to make my ears bigger. Oh my. I tell you what, that's pretty funny. I
What
don't
tangled
care.
webs? What tangled webs?
Yep, that's the end of that, right? What tangle webs we weave when we choose to deceive. Yep, there it is.
Yep.
Your ears get bigger.
Yeah. I wonder if Andrew ever sucked Fergie's toe. I'm just asking. Maybe it was a fetish of his that turned her on.
You know what? That's probably where it started.
It could very well be.
Because I saw the picture of the neck of the boy that was going out the window of Andrews trying to escape.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So you know what? It might have been. It may have been him that taught her how to do crazy stuff. I'm
Yeah.
telling you, maybe isn't like he should be what are them what are them royal people that what are their last names? Do they even have last names?
Yeah. Montalban Windsor or something like that. Their last
Oh,
name's Windsor when
Windsor
they have to use one.
Windsorstein. Andrew is a Windsorstein.
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, him and Pitty Bitty
Montbatten.
Sting.
That's it. That's how you pronounce it. Mountbatten.
Oh, I didn't even know they had a last name. That goes
Yeah.
to show you how much I know about those people.
Yeah, but because the
I'll be
queen
dang.
was the queen, instead of it being Windsor Mountbatten, it was Mountbatten Windsor.
And Windsorstein. And Andrew was a Windsorstein. He had Steen on the end of his
Yeah,
name, just like Epstein and Diddy Steen and
right,
Weinstein and Windsorstein.
right,
We got all
right.
them Steens going on.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Well, guys, I have enjoyed every bit of this, every last bit of it, and we're here clocking on an hour and a half, so it's our time to go.
Yes, it
But
is.
I've enjoyed
You
it,
need your
and
beauty sleep.
God knows I need as much of that beauty sleep as I can get. So I'm going to say goodnight for tonight, and if everything works out, you know what my pappy used to say, it if the Lord's willing and the creek don't rise, we'll be here on Tuesday at 6 o'clock.
Yep, yep. We sure will. And we will keep you in our prayers and our thoughts.
Yes. Yes, we'll keep
And
you in your prayers and our thoughts. And I'll just
don't turn into a steen.
and yeah, don't marry anybody. Don't go out with anybody with the last name of Steen, no matter what's in front of it. Weinstein, Diddy Steen, Epstein,
Right.
Windsorstein.
Right.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
don't go out with anybody with the Steen on the end of it.
And it's not a religious thing. It's just a Steen thing.
Yeah, it's a Steen thing. It's a Steen thing. You know,
Right.
they're all kind of got problems.
They're all a little weird. So, but thank you so much, everybody, for hanging out with us tonight.
It's been fun, and I love y'all, and I'll say prayers for each and every one of you. And I look forward to Tuesday if they don't keep me trapped in the courthouse on Monday.
Right. And hopefully we brought a smile to everybody's face tonight.
I hope you got a good laugh. I hope you leave here giggling with a smile on your face. Because if you did, then I did what I was supposed to do.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. So, good night. I love you guys. I love
Good
you all.
night.
You have a blessed night.
And we will see you. If the how did I say that again? If the Lord's willing and the creek don't rise, we'll see you on Tuesday.
Yes.
Same time, same place.
Same bat channel.
Same crazy channel. We'll
Yes.
see you then. Y'all take care of yourself. And if you have any news, that's a Thursday thing. Please bring it. Royal, bring in your royal stuff. I'm sure you can come up with some stuff for me by Thursday.
Yep.
All right.
Or
Love
if
y'all.
there's anything that you guys want us to look into for you. I
Yeah.
mean, not that you can't do your own research, but if you'd like us to look into something and shred it apart like we do.
Tear it apart. I'll tear it apart for you piece by
We'll
piece.
always tell you our opinions.
And tell you the brutal, honest truth about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, y'all take care. Love you, and hopefully we'll get to see you on Tuesday. Bye.
Bye.